There was little question about France's Gabriel Nassif getting inducted in his first year of eligibility.
Gabriel Nassif has 9 top 8, PT top 8, no doubt to Hall of Fame. I think he's the best player right now.
The only questions about Nassif are where he ranks in the all-time pantheon of Magic greats.
I mean, one of the things we joke about in R&D is players who sort of show there's more skill in Magic than we thought there was skill in Magic. And John and Kai and Gabe, the two greats are the ones that really say, look, Magic has even more skill than you think.
I think there's a non-zero chance at some point in the near future we look up and we're like, holy crap, Gabe Nassif's the best player of all time.
Still just a teenager, his first event resulted in a top 64 finish.
I met Gabriel Nassif for the first time on his first PT Chicago 2001. And we were all playtesting together. And he had his own mono blue brew with flyers and stuff. He was the only one playing it, and he didn't want to play anyone else's brew.
He would finish top 64 in 3 of his next 4 events, with his 66th as his only miss. He began his rise to prominence with the Grand Prix finals.
It was one of the breakthrough tournament was back in GP London, and the following week at the Team Pro Tour, playing Kai twice in a row. That was his break. He's been on the tour ever since.
And then as a member of the second place team at Pro Tour New York.
But Nassif was the mastermind in that team. Like, he was the guy sitting in the middle, he was the guy calling the picks. And that was definitely our toughest match in the whole Pro Tour.
In 2004, he wrested the Player of the Year title away from Kai Budde.
Gabriel Nassif not only won Player of the Year, but won it in a year where another Pro Tour player had 2 Pro Tour wins.
He would go on to rack up a total of 9 Pro Tour top 8s in just 46 appearances, including some of the most electric moments in Pro Tour history. From his improbable game win against Patrick Chapin at Worlds.
And every single time it had to be right for Nassif to win. And the crowd was just cheering because every single time a card was pulled and it was the right card, people realized we were that much closer to Nassif pulling off the impossible. And
to his called shot in Kyoto, to his riveting tournament clinching win over LSV at that same event.
Nassif's one of the undisputed masters of the game, and he's actually one of the players I like playing against the least. Not because he's unpleasant, our matches are always awesome, but he's so hard to trick.
Nassif is a deck-building force to be reckoned with, from his format-defining tooth and nail deck, to as recently as the last Pro Tour creating the white weenie deck that propelled Kai Budde and Paul Rietzel into the top 8 of Pro Tour Amsterdam.
He understands formats like very few others on the PT level, and his constructed decks are always good. Whenever he plays a constructed deck and a couple of other people play it, you will find someone sitting at XO.
And people like to talk about who's the best player in the game right now. It was John, it was Kai, then what, it was Kenji, it was LSV, maybe Brad Nelson. Are we sure it hasn't just been Nassif the whole time?
For all his greatness in the game, he also remains one of the most affable and beloved personalities on the Pro Tour.
You know, he's laid back, he's humble, he's, kind of in many ways everything you'd look for and what you'd want in your competitive environment.
He has this approach that is very friendly with players, with judges, etc. He is always very, very nice to hang out with, and obviously one of the best players in the world.
New players can see him as their idol, because he wins all the time, he's a nice guy, and he has a yellow head.
So how does it feel to be in the Hall of Fame?
Feels good. I was pretty touched by everything everyone said. So feels good.
What do you remember about going to your first Pro Tour?
I don't know, a lot of things. For some reason, I don't know, I remember more from that PT than a lot of the other PTs I've been to. It was my first time in the States, and we were staying in kind of a weird hotel because I guess it was kind of cheap, and the elevator was operated manually. So that was funny. There was just a dude standing on a stool, sitting on a stool all day, opening and closing the door. And then, as Raphael said, I had my own deck, and I was pretty nervous. It was my first PT, but I did pretty well. Played a couple names I recognized from the coverage and everything. So played Bob Maher, Michael Pasternak, Christian Lures, a few others. So, and then just hanging out with the Frenchies and meeting other or people I already met, like Ryan Fuller. I already met him in Paris, or Ben Affel and Noah and people like that. So yeah, it was pretty amazing.
So you don't have a 10-year Magic career as successful as yours without the help of some people. I mean, are there people you want to thank at this point for your career?
I don't know. Just I guess my family was always pretty supportive, and all the friends I met and was who I brewed decks and play tested and stuff, like Mark Herbolz, maybe people like that, De Ruiz, Frank Canu, all the good French players that I was able to play with and get better, Emile and Nicolas was who I'm top 8 in my first team PT, and just so many people, but yeah.
If you had to pick one memory playing on the Pro Tour 10 years, what would it be? What's your favorite memory?
I don't know, maybe right now, but before that, I don't know, maybe Kyoto, top 8 in Kyoto. Yeah, it was just amazing.
Awesome. Show us the ring.